It is time that we had a talk. A real talk.
Hey, what is up, guys? Star Wars Real Talk here, and today we are officially launching the Rebel Jedi podcast. So we did a talk earlier with Jedi Makios about the Book of Boba, and at the end of it, we're like, we should just start a podcast where just me and him talk about whatever. So we decided we'll just make that episode 1. This is the official release, the official launch, but it's episode 2. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in our permanent guest, Jedi Makios.
Oh,
What's poppin', man? How you doing?
Man, I am doing great. I took the day off of work, and it would seem I took the day off of work to do this. So, cheers.
You should send the stream link to your boss.
Yeah, I'm sure she'd love that. Honestly,
Putting in work.
Yeah.
The real
a grind of a different sort.
We'll say a quick few hellos to the fellas.
Oh man,
Juicy.
Let's go.
We got
Big
Nick.
Nick, how are you?
We got a shameless self plug of the gaming channel.
Hey.
We got Average, and we got Whooper.
Yeah. Man, we got the gang in here.
We got the gang. Yeah.
Thanks for coming out, lads.
Yeah, good to see you guys. Okay, so this episode is literally just to talk about Kenobi. We really don't have much of an agenda. We're going to watch the trailer. We're going to react to it. Even though we've both seen it, just figured what the hell. We were both going to watch it to prep for this anyway.
Exactly, yeah.
And then we'll just see where the combo takes us. If you guys have any comments or questions, topics, whatever, just drop them and we'll get to them. Okay, so do you have any immediate thoughts that you want to get out there before we watch the trailer, or should we just jump right into the trailer?
You know what? Let's jump into the trailer and let's do the Rebel Jedi cast.
Yeah, let's do it. I was thinking of I had a bunch of different names for the podcast just because you said Rebel Jedi cast. I had some awesome names. Okay, I'm gonna talk about them later. I'm gonna get sidetracked. You just totally reminded me of like a whole list of things, and it might be funny to talk about.
Oh man, this is gonna be a good one. Let's go. We're in for a banger, boys.
Okay, all right. Okay, volume should be good. Feels like I'm watching it for the first time again.
The fight is done.
First of all, I just want to say that opening the trailer with the fight is done, it sets this whole thing up for this feeling of just despair.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah. Absolutely.
And in defeat. You know, this isn't
what
the start of a grand
this?
adventure.
Jakku? Is this Jakku?
Which Tatooine are we on again?
Yeah. No, I have grace for this Tatooine just because it is following the story. Yeah. So
just because we had Boba Fett on Tatooine, okay, that gets a pass. Boba Fett's got ties to Tatooine.
This is a golden pass.
It's like, okay, this is the
platinum can do no wrong, at least for the first 2 episodes pass.
Yeah, first episode's going to be a banger. The next 4 are going to be questionable. Last one's going to be peak. If that's kind of been the Disney Star Wars formula.
Okay, all right. Let's get this trailer going.
So, if you want to just jump in at any point, I'll pause.
Okay. Yeah.
We lost.
Fuck. Sad boy.
Happy boy.
Stay hidden.
Sand.
The key
Dude.
to hunting Jedi is patience.
Pause. It looks bad.
Yeah, I guess
I'm sorry. It looks bad.
We have to address it, don't we?
We do. I saw it in the Discord at first, after I had watched the trailer for the first time. And because the first time I just didn't notice, I was just so hyped to watch it. And then someone posted like a screenshot or some shit, and oh my gosh, like it looks so bad. Like it looks like it's from like an episode of Gotham, like of the early seasons.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah.
like just prosthetics.
Yeah. On their like limited budget.
Like,
Like that
and I'm
armor
not
looks
saying
sick.
it. Yeah,
Why did they stop there?
like what maybe it's just a take on this is the Grand Inquisitor, right?
Yeah. I
Maybe
think
it's
so.
just a take on him, but I always imagined him more of like a Tywin Lannister, sort of a tall, lanky, more of an elegant,
Absolutely.
almost royal figure. Like even with the voice actor that voiced him, you know, it almost sounded like a high British or something like that, you know?
Yeah. It makes me worried that like since what's his name? The Grand Inquisitor, whatever.
I actually don't know.
he had a very tall head, right?
Mhm.
It makes me worry like
Like a long neck. He had a long neck. Man, look at this. This is short. I have a
yeah,
long neck. I know.
boy doesn't even
Okay.
have a neck.
Yeah.
This makes me a little worried that if they ever do live action Darth Plagueis, who has an even taller head, then we're gonna have problems.
Jeez. Yeah,
Yeah,
we might yeah.
he kind of looks like every
He
generic.
looks like a musclehead. He doesn't look like a Grand Inquisitor.
Well,
But
yeah,
I
maybe.
still have high hopes for the show. I am willing to look past this. Maybe it's just
Same.
bad lighting. Maybe we're not. Maybe it's his armor. Maybe it is his armor. Maybe, you know.
Well, they all it looks like they did make his head bigger. It's just
Yeah.
not. And I feel like, okay, first of all, he looks like a generic Marvel villain when they're trying to make someone who looks human but is an alien. Like this is the exact look they do. They just like make the head bigger. They get rid of the eyebrows. You know, that's pretty much all that they do, and they make him green.
Or like blue or dark blue.
Yeah, and
dark
they're like,
gray.
look at our special effects. Maybe like
Go boom.
remember how much heat like the prequels took for CGI, and then
Yeah.
like with the sequels,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
like, and this was a good move, right? For the sequels, they're like, we're gonna bring back a lot more physical props and stuff like that,
Yeah,
right? And make it
yeah.
feel like more like the original Star Wars. But now I feel like we've almost gone too far. Like, give this guy a green ski mask and just animate his head. You know, I don't mind CGI if it's gonna make someone look more accurate,
Better.
even like I've said this before, like Ahsoka's Leku, it was too hard to make props that were the legitimate size, so they just made smaller ones. So she has like childhood Leku in her adulthood, and it's like, why couldn't they have just animated just the tips just to make it a little longer? You know?
Yeah. Maybe it's tough with like the battle scenes and stuff like that. Excuse me.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, CGI, you can do anything.
That's true.
This one really gets to me because we saw Star Wars already do this species in the live action films. Oh, that's a really good point. I'm trying to remember what race or species he is, because I feel like we maybe saw him in what episode 3. This the species. I don't know. If Padawannabe, if you want to drop the species name, I'll Google search it and we can pull it up. But
yeah, that'd be dope.
If they've already done it live, then there really is no excuse.
Yeah.
And I'm not at all surprised that we got hung up on this part of the trailer, because
I knew it was coming. And if you didn't say something, I was like, my boy, we got to talk about this.
Yeah, I mean, this is a huge talking point. This
It
is the biggest takeaway from this trailer. No one's even talking about
honestly.
Obi-Wan. They're like, oh, they fucked up the Inquisitor.
Well, because Ewan McGregor looks fucking fantastic. He looks great. Like from the first binoculars scene, like everything. Like he looks great. So that's why we're hitting at this guy, because everything else I feel looks great. So that being said,
it's pretty good if we're nitpicking him, I guess. But
yes.
Okay, this is who I was thinking you were talking about. So right before the General Grievous fight.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
What's that planet? Otapu or something?
Yes, like Otaku? No, that's
something like that. Yeah, that's who I was thinking of. And he looked great. He was a scary looking alien.
Yeah. The teeth and everything.
Yeah. Doggo is pissed. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce that, but thanks for sharing that.
Pawan. Cool. Pawan.
All right, yell.
10-1, it's Ronan. Is it Ronan?
It's Ronan, yeah. That's
Yeah.
what happens when you get a
Oh.
Dalmatian. They're guard dogs. They're like he hears someone farts 2 miles away, and he's letting me know.
Yeah. Hey, bud. Hey, bud.
Okay, let's attempt to hit play here. Oh, look at this guy in the background. Ah, he looks terrible.
Jedi cannot help what they are.
This is a sick speech,
Their
though.
compassion.
Yeah, it is.
I want to just. I haven't
Because
actually
I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be the Grand Inquisitor, right?
Yeah, I think
Like,
so. I love that. I mean, talking about tactics on how to hunt a Jedi is sick. Like,
yeah, and like it's so true. Like it's so believable what he's saying. Like, just wait. They can't just like sit by.
yeah, if you're gonna like just start bombing a town, like they'll show up.
They have to. Yeah, they're
Just commit war crimes. They'll show up. Hunting a Jedi is easy.
Oh man.
Okay,
Yeah.
and I want to. This table, we got what, 3 Inquisitors here?
Yeah, ish. 1, 2, 3. Stormtrooper over there.
Their
You know what this
compa-
kind of gives me vibes of? This kind of give like that scene right there just gave me vibes of like Vader's fist or something like that.
Mm,
You know, just
Yeah.
sort of like the dark room, but it looks like it's on some planet or maybe in some like grand starship or something like that. So
yeah, like because I feel like the Inquisitors are always going to give me Fallen Order vibes because they like
see, I haven't played that game yet. I still have yet to play it.
just waiting for the sequel.
Yeah, essentially at this point.
Yeah, this guy looks awesome, but we'll
Yeah.
get to him yet.
Mm.
It's so nice to see Stormtroopers, not I don't know, not like sequel Stormtroopers or even variations of Stormtroopers from Star Wars Visions. It's just nice. Sometimes it's just nice to see a good old fashioned Stormtrooper standing there doing nothing.
Just guarding the stormtroops.
Yeah. Props to the Empire for consistently having shiny floors. That is one thing I have always noticed. The floors
Hygiene
are
top
always
notch.
well polished. They care a lot about hygiene. They could,
Mhm.
you know, you don't want the health inspector to come through and
Because you know what? Health inspector is probably Vader. You know, I could see him being very nitpicky over that. Why is this floor like this?
yeah, there's no fee. At least he just fucking kills you on the spot. So
No, you get it right up first. Go to HR.
Inquisitorium.
Okay.
Yeah,
The Padawan.
that sounds
You
familiar.
are coming in, sir. Thank you for participating.
He's another Star Wars YouTuber. He knows his stuff.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. Did you ever read the Vader comics
No.
at all? Because that starts like right after Episode 3, pretty much following Vader and like, you know,
Okay. You know what? I want to get into like a comic series because I started reading the High Republic comics, the first 5, and I really liked it. So I think I would like reading Star Wars comics. So
yeah, the Vader one in particular is just really good. We like see the formation of the Inquisitors, and like they don't respect Vader at all at first. It's really interesting.
oh, nice.
Vader has to
that
like
sounds
earn his
sick.
place in the Empire because everybody like who the fuck is this guy?
Dude,
Like-
that story sounds great. Maybe we'll get to see some of that in Kenobi. Maybe those will be like the Vader scenes.
Yeah,
like,
dude. Like if we could see anything from the Vader comics, like
Mm.
the first time Vader shows up, all the clone troopers start shooting at him because they think he's a Jedi. Like it's just in their program.
Oh, crazy.
They have to be like, stop! He's not a fucking Jedi. Stop shooting him.
Oh man. All right, let's
Okay.
keep this. Yeah.
Their compassion
Someone got fucking hung.
leaves a
Or
trail.
she's force holding him.
The Jedi code is like an itch. He cannot help it.
It's so good, man. I just got goosebumps.
The
hearing
Jedi
that.
code is like an itch. Yeah. Cannot help it.
That's so good. Oh my gosh. This is what I
Right.
wanted, man.
Right?
Like-
Hermit Obi-Wan, like sort of like Detective Obi-Wan.
Honestly,
We got a
I
little bit of him in Star Wars Episode 2.
don't even need the show, honestly. Just give me a 5-minute film from Star Wars. You know, just showing him. Like, I'm just so happy to see him again. Even if all he does for 6 episodes is walk around and is with his head down,
Worth
like,
it,
I'll be
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
stoked.
Bit. Where is he?
Yeah, this.
It's Mega Mind, bro.
Just make his head taller. He already started. Did you run out of like? Did you run out of modeling clay? Like, why not?
You know who he kind of reminds me of? He kind of reminds me of the bad Deadpool from X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Okay, I see that. I see that. Okay, absolutely. I think
Yes.
that Duel of Fates makes anything like really good. Like, there's this
Mhm.
one Facebook page that I follow. He's another core page, and they just do Duel of Fates music over fight scenes. Like, you submit a scene from a movie, and they just put Duel of Fates over it and upload it. And it's like
That sounds amazing.
it makes everything better.
Oh,
It does. I do kind of feel like I'm a little bit curious as to why they put this in the trailer. This is just a nod to episode 1 Obi-Wan, right?
yeah. Well, maybe because it's they are going to go back to his origins a little bit, so maybe we will get to see a bit of Qui-Gon. Maybe.
Yeah. I guess then Duel of
Because
Fates
like
is appropriate.
Darth
hey?
Maul was a big part of Obi-Wan's like life.
Yeah.
You know,
for sure.
because it's going to be Favreau and Filoni doing this. Like, Clone Wars is canon, right? Rebels is canon. So he in Kenobi, the timeline's a bit backwards. So he is yet to fight Darth Maul one more time, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
So like maybe that's why. Maybe he gets news of it.
Do you want Darth Maul to be in this show?
Yeah,
Not do you think he'll be in it? Do you want it?
Yes, I do. They brought it up in Solo. I want them to go through with it now.
Okay.
You know, they made him officially canon. That was a big moment, right? Making Darth Maul officially canon within the canon Star Wars films, and now he is. That he survived.
Yeah.
And I think, there's a scene coming up. I think we're gonna see Han Solo as well.
I totally must have missed that first time.
Don't worry. I'll tell you when to pause.
I really hope they don't do the flying thing. I think that they've gotten enough feedback about how stupid that was that they just don't attempt it. I feel like Disney's being very cautious. They're all being to the point of overly cautious.
What is like flying mean? What's he?
Oh, did you watch Star Wars Rebels?
Yeah.
So there's some scenes with the Inquisitors where they spin their lightsabers like in this trailer, and they helicopter. Yeah, I could go for not seeing that.
Yeah, that would probably throw me off, honestly. What a thick lad!
Look at this white boy.
I'm sorry. We can't get more than 2 seconds. This guy. I'm sorry.
He looks a little bit goofy. He looks a little bit like a circus jester.
Yeah.
Like it's just a person face and then
gosh.
stuff around it. Maybe I think this is probably just a bad angle.
Yeah.
I mean, the scene, everything around it looks really cool.
I really hope it.
Everything around the guy.
Yeah, like underworld sort of feel. And like, Obi-Wan was just there, so we're gonna see him off of Tatooine a bit. Is this Coruscant? Like underworld Coruscant?
I have no clue. If we get to see Coruscant, dude, that checks both my boxes.
I think it is. Yeah, that would be cool.
Oh, to see Coruscant again, it would be a dream. I'm so glad that they didn't wipe it out in the sequels like they were planning on doing. Okay.
Right there.
Oh, shit. You're right. I totally missed that the first time. I didn't even... Wait, is that Yoda? Did I accidentally pause on Yoda?
I think that's Yoda, bro. I think
gosh.
This looks like the Jedi Temple in ruins.
Bruh. I didn't even see that the first. I haven't watched any breakdowns, by the way. So anybody watching this who's like, "Duh, that's Yoda." I'm just now witnessing this for the first time. What the fuck is Yoda doing here? He's in there so subtly too.
Wow,
Okay.
yeah.
Let's find that blaster here.
Like it might not
You're
be, but
right.
I'm pretty sure that's Han's blaster, isn't it?
That looks like his iconic blaster.
Could be Lando. No, it couldn't.
This guy reminds me. Oh, you're talking about the Inquisitor. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh, comment about the Maul thing. They could easily have Maul and Kenobi together for the first shot. Oh, kind of like a Boba Fett flashback type thing.
That's a good call. Yeah.
It's a very clever way of working things in with flashbacks and dream sequences.
Yeah, you can show a lot. You can show whatever you want.
So if this isn't Han, then who could it be? Like, I can't.
Cassian Andor. Cassian.
Yeah.
Right, because that's around the same time.
That's true.
Rogue One.
I don't know. Does he have the same blaster? I guess like it makes more people than Han could have that blaster, I guess.
Yeah, and it might not even be like his, was it Carillion blaster? Is that what it is?
I can't remember.
I can't remember either. Yeah, I don't know. I hope it's Han. That'd be cool. And I hope they use that actor that was in the Solo movie. I think that would really legitimize. It's not a matter of if I like him or not. I thought he was a good Han Solo. It's a matter of Disney picking someone and just sticking with their gut, like like just making a decision.
Yeah,
and like owning it, and like that actor in the Kenobi series would like totally legitimize him as young Han Solo, and then they can do whatever they want with him. It would only benefit Disney if it is Han Solo and if they use that actor.
See, I agree with you, but for similar reasons. But I don't think that I didn't like him as Han. Like I enjoyed the movie, but I didn't really think he did a great job as Han. Just difference of opinion there,
right?
But I agree that even though I didn't like him as Han, they should keep him for consistency's sake. I think, like you said, like just own him, like commit to it, and then the more we see him, the more I'll be like, okay, that's young Han Solo. Like I can't. I don't have a bone to pick anymore. He's been in 3 or 4 things by now. Like,
yeah, I'd stick with Childish Gambino as Lando as well.
Yeah,
I actually liked him as Lando. I thought he was a great Lando.
I don't think I ever knew this.
Yeah, that would make sense. That's sort of like his pickle that he's in episode 4, right?
Well, I mean, he just owe Jabba money? Wasn't that the whole thing?
No, he was doing a shipment for Jabba, and he dropped the shipment. That's why he owed Jabba money.
Oh, so he just. The question is, does he actually work for Jabba, or does he just do the odd job?
He was,
like just picks up jobs wherever he can. That's kind of how I saw him.
Well, probably there's not a lot of work, so Jabba's probably one of the only ones like hiring big money that Han would be interested in. Yeah,
but I guess these are all good reasons for him to be there.
And also, like Tatooine, 0 ties to the Empire. Han is a deserter, still technically.
Yeah. Right. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, that's not Yoda.
That's just someone's hair or some shit?
It must have just been because that was obviously somebody ducking with a blaster, right?
That's a youngling. Yeah.
When I paused it, that looked exactly like Yoda.
It did, like the ear and everything. Yeah, no, we all thought so. They had the braid there, I guess.
Oh, is that Obi-Wan?
That might be Obi-Wan.
He's got a blaster. What the fuck? It's so uncivilized.
So uncivilized. Ah!
Pathetic. They ruined Obi-Wan. He's throwing away his principles.
Maybe he's just getting blasted at. Whoa.
Birds.
A New Hope, if you will.
Seeing Obi-Wan with that bright blue lightsaber again is oof. Oof, I cannot wait.
Just last time he wielded it was on the Fires of Mustafar. Maybe I
Yeah,
don't know. I don't know
yeah,
what the timeline is, but
that's true. Okay, first off, what do you think about the trailer? Was it good?
they gave us just enough. I think it's going to be good. I think it is.
I'm
You
very
know,
surprised by how much there was in there. Like
they
they told us a lot.
yeah, but maybe not everything because if you remember with Mandalorian season 2, we thought the trailer showed a lot as well, but it actually only showed like the first 4 episodes. Depending on how long these episodes are going to be, maybe we only saw the first 2.
Hmm, that's true. Like I really am worried that they're going to try and do too much with it. Like because it's Obi-Wan, they're going to try and make it so epic that there's all this shit going on and all these characters, and I I don't think that enhances a show.
Yeah, I mean, but that's yeah,
Like
it's gonna be okay. See, my problem is like you want to make the show unique. You want to see new characters. Like I want to see new characters, but in order for me to see new characters, they have to be introduced.
but
You
why in
know,
Obi-Wan? Why take that time with Ewan and Hayden, like that, because that just takes away from
yeah.
them. Like,
I don't know. Like I would, because they're afraid it'll just feel like a same old story, a story because we already kind of know the ending. We just don't know the middle. We know the 2 slices of bread, but we don't know the meat. We
yeah.
don't know what happened.
But
The
the
whole
thing,
development, like from Obi-Wan transferring out into Ben.
o-
That's.
okay, so what do you think is going to be the main plot point, if you had to guess?
I think it's gonna be like because there has to be more than just Obi-Wan hiding. Obviously, I think that's gonna be his main objective. But I think there's obviously like injustices that he's wanting and trying to fight against, like with the whatever it was, the hanging or the force choking of like those people on Tatooine. He's
Yeah,
obviously looking for something or someone or looking for information on that other planet, whether it was Coruscant. I'm just going to call it Coruscant for now because it
sure.
looked like Coruscant. And it looked like the Inquisitors were following him,
Mm,
in the same area. So whether or not they're setting him up or if he's following a legitimate like lead,
yeah.
because this is around the same time, if not like before Rebels takes place, right? Maybe crazy
Well,
theory, crazy theory.
Rebellion would probably be a little bit after this, but yeah, continue.
What the Bad Batch? What if he like bumps into them?
Stop. Please no. Okay, it would be so cool to see live action Bad Batch, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a little bit concerning because hear me out, okay? So his first objective, right, is to just stay alive and survive, right?
Yeah, I
So
think that
we
has to
got
be it. Yeah.
that happening. We've got him watching over Luke, protecting Luke, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all the stories that go around that. And we have Vader tying into this. Now, Vader's story, how he interacts with Obi-Wan, everything going on his side, that's 3 huge plot points already. Now we work in the Inquisitors.
You know
Now
what
we
that
work
sounds
in
like to me? That sounds like 3 seasons of Kenobi right there.
exactly. So the thing is, the more new people you introduce, the more screen time they need, the more introduction, build up. It's
Mhm.
just all these new little things take away from him in hiding, him and Vader, him and Luke. Just
Mhm.
I don't know.
Honestly, I think Luke's going to be a very small part of this series. I think that scene of him might be the only one we get. And you know what? I kind of hope it is. I don't want to see young Luke Skywalker. I'm already seeing the Luke Skywalker I want with Boba Fett and Mandalorian.
Yeah. Well, so what if he's used as like I guess it would be kind of like a Mandalorian plot point. Like people are seeking out Luke. Like Vader's involvement in the show is that he has a hunch that his son survived and he's looking for him. So he's sending inquisitors to seek out this very force
Mhm.
sensitive child or something like that, you know.
Mhm.
And then that makes sense why but the inquisitors are also hunting Jedi, so that works too. I don't know.
Yeah, I think, well, because nobody knows that Obi-Wan survived Order 66, right? Because Vader sensing Obi-Wan on the Death Star in Episode 4 was the first time he sensed him in a really long time.
Well, that's okay. How does he exactly say that? Because they're going to use that to their advantage.
I haven't. I think that's a presence I haven't felt since, and that's
Blank.
it. Yeah.
So
Oh yeah. Okay. Maybe.
it's
Yeah.
totally
I like
open.
that. I
It could
like
be-
that.
So that's kind of their get out of jail free card to do whatever they want, because he could say, "I haven't felt that presence since we fought in
Like, you know
the
what?
Kenobi show
Then give it
2022."
to us, right? give us Vader, because all we have of Vader fighting is that couple scenes in Rebels and those two kind of sad fights in the original trilogy. I love the original trilogy, but those lightsaber fights weren't the greatest.
Yeah, no, that's that reimagined fight. I've watched it
So
hundreds of
good.
times.
That is, whoever did that, big shout out.
They should
That
be
was
working in this show.
incredible. Yeah.
When Obi-Wan sees Luke playing and acting like a pod racer, I want him to remember little Anakin.
Oh man, you are breaking my heart. That
Fuck.
is,
Yeah. Yeah, Vader
But Obi
Vader
didn't see
sees
that
Luke
race,
playing
yeah.
with a pod racer. Obi-Wan sees it at the same time. They both just have a meltdown.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Obi-Wan was on the ship when Anakin won the pod race, though.
Yeah.
But I mean, still, he knew him, and I'm sure Qui-Gon told him the story.
See, Qui-Gon, now this is another ripple here. Another chapter in the story. So how much involvement is he going to have with Qui-Gon? And I think it's probably going to be maybe 5 minutes an episode, in a meditative scene when he's reaching out for help. Probably a lot in episode 1 when he's by himself before the plot kicks in gear.
Yeah, I'm wondering. That's I wonder, like, does Yoda go to Dagobah? I wonder if Yoda's going to be in it at all. Like, even if it is like in a flashback, because Yoda and Obi-Wan did see each other before they both went into hiding. And because it was Yoda who kind of told Obi-Wan to watch over Luke.
Okay, well,
although
see
Obi-Wan
in episode 3, didn't Yoda, wasn't he on Kashyyyk or something talking to the Wookiees, and he's like, into hiding I must go.
Yeah, but then he goes and fights, goes back to Coruscant with Obi-Wan, but the temple
that's before that. That's right.
Yeah, the temple's burned, and then they see Anakin killing younglings.
There must be one scene. Did he say, okay, after he loses the fight to Darth Sidious?
Yep.
Doesn't he
goes
make a
into
comment?
Bail. He goes into Bail Organa's ship, and then that Padawan dies.
But he says, "Failed I have," right?
Into exile I must go.
Into exile I must go. Okay, that's the line that I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
But at that point,
I think he says failed. I think he says failed we have. Actually, not
really.
Maybe we, maybe I.
I thought he meant that he wasn't able to stop Sidious. Yoda
able to see him even. They just had suspicions but they could never actually prove anything, and they wanted to be right and just, but not just arrest anybody. Because if they did just like, that's what people don't realize, the genius of like Palpatine. The Jedi Order couldn't just go arrest him at all. Otherwise, the Jedi Order would seem corrupt. Oh, yeah. Okay. To exile I must go. Yeah, all right. I must go. Nice.
So at that point, I guess maybe he goes straight there. I don't know if he would have told Obi-Wan where he went. I don't know if I could see Yoda being in this.
Wondering. Yeah, I'm just wondering if he went straight there. Because Yoda does have a last conversation with Obi-Wan before he gets onto. I'm trying to remember episode 3 now, just the end of it, because Yoda like tells Obi-Wan that he can see Qui-Gon, like Qui-Gon like became one with the Force and could be a Force projection now. I just can't remember when that is. That must be like when they're in Coruscant before he gets.
Yeah, I think that sounds right anyway. But what purpose would Yoda even serve? I think Qui-Gon would fill that role of the wise master.
Yeah,
Force ghost.
just in like episode 5, like, oh, it's Obi-Wan that tells Luke to go to Dagobah, right, when he's stranded on the winter dunes of Hoth.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. I guess that's an interesting point to think about, because
Right, yeah.
if he had defeated Palpatine, Order 66 was set into motion already, right? So if he had killed Palpatine, Palpatine probably would have just made off like a martyr. Like, look, the Jedi are evil. This guy fucking killed me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Contingencies.
But they only look evil, to my point we were talking about before the cast. To my point, they only look evil because they have this council and because they hold this position of power.
Okay, let's go into that subject, because this is relative to A, the name of our podcast, and B, Kenobi. So we were talking about the Jedi Council, and you were making a statement about how you didn't think that there should have been a Jedi Council.
I don't think,
and I wanted you to save that until now.
So I think, and this is just, if I were living in the Star Wars universe, this would be my philosophical take on how the Jedi should be, just from like, I don't know, my own thoughts and whatnot, what have you. So I think the Jedi are to be peacemakers and upholders of the law. But I always imagine them more as like, almost just like hermits, like how Obi-Wan has to be from the time of Order 66 until the time Luke's old enough to fight.
I wonder if you think that way because of the OT, if that instilled what a Jedi is to you, because that's all the Jedi were in the OT.
But I think that's what, excuse me, I think that's what Qui-Gon thought the Jedi should be, and that's why he refused to be part of the council. Like, because Qui-Gon's not afraid of a fight. Like, if anything, Qui-Gon's probably one of the best Jedi warriors. But he was so in tune with the Force that he was the first to discover, before Yoda, how to like become part of the Force. You know, and if you wouldn't mind, what's the Jedi code? Can you pull up the Jedi code?
Sure, yeah. I feel like I remember bits and pieces of the
Me
Jedi
too.
and the Sith code.
Because yeah, it's literally the opposite of the Sith code.
Yeah, that's funny. Okay, I've got it here. Oh, I should know this. This Obi-Wan's constantly spouting this in Battlefront 2. that's how I know it.
All right, like there's no emotion, there's peace. There's no ignorance, there's knowledge. No passion, there's serenity. There's no chaos, there's harmony. There's no death, there's the Force.
Okay, I'm going to read a couple of these. This is a good comment here. They stopped helping the little people.
Yes.
And got caught up in politics.
Yes, and that's it again, but the root of this particular, like, call it an evil of them, like the corruption of the council, their blindness comes from their position of high power. They can't see below them anymore. They couldn't see Palpatine rising from the shadows because, you know, they're so high up that they can't see down.
That's just the double-edged sword, I guess, of being in a place of power, because in order for them to have the reach and the influence they did, they needed almost to be acknowledged on that level, you know, of the Republic. Otherwise, the Republic, like, you know, they would have been, what's the word? People who operate outside of the law to fulfill their own sense of justice.
Vigilante?
You know? Yeah, they would have been seen as like vigilantes. Yeah. And they probably would have gone against the law.
Yeah.
So they may have not had a choice.
But I mean, you look at their code, what does it say about the law? Nothing. Like there is nothing except for the Force and this like goodness, serenity, and harmony. And you know, I think all of these ideals, all of these philosophies, peace, knowledge, serenity, harmony, the Force, I think they're all outside the law. You know,
maybe it's not even,
and they're all
outside
like
or inside the law. It's separate.
They're all sort of words of like that sort of stem in and around like humility and a servanthood, and not like a life of plenty, but of peace.
Yeah, because I guess in the prequels we see them as keepers of the peace, but if that means killing your enemies so that there's peace, it
Exactly.
was a different
They're
perspective.
warriors, and I think one of the Jedi's like fear was becoming like the Jedi would only be generals, like they wouldn't be Jedi anymore. They're military generals. Like I think they say that within the Clone Wars TV series and within in Episode 3 as well.
Right. So they were weaponized essentially.
And once like the Jedi, like there are like the younger Jedi that came up only within the Clone Wars. They only knew how to fight in wartime. I don't think that's a Jedi's place. Maybe because of their wisdom that they needed to be.
Hmm. Okay, so
But I mean, but that you bring it back, and if they never had a council to begin with, I think they would have just seen Palpatine coming. They would have felt that rise of darkness, this imbalance within the Force.
yeah,
With Plagueis and Palpatine, probably would have felt it with just Plagueis. And
snuffed
then
that out a
yes,
long time ago.
yes, they would have maybe have looked like vigilantes, killing this person. But like if they know he's with the dark side of the Force, then maybe they wouldn't have. Maybe that's why they couldn't. But like I think it's just their place as like council members, like this rank and standing. I think there should only be the Jedi Master and the Jedi Apprentice, maybe the Padawan Apprentice Master, because I think that's what works with the Sith is like there's no other rank. It's like Sith, are you an apprentice or are you a master? Nothing else matters.
Hmm.
And I
Interesting.
think that should run true with the Jedi as well, because
Yeah.
Jedi were first and then the Sith came, right? Because the Sith were
Yeah.
just corrupted Jedi.
Yeah, well, I think they were the Sith. Well, there was everyone was, I guess, Jedi at first, and then there was a separation out of different points of view. I think someone can correct me if I'm wrong. And I believe the Sith they found a species with a religion that was the Sith, and they kind of adopted it into their
Okay.
into
See,
their
I think
perspective.
Ahsoka Tano represents the perfect Jedi in my not very well educated opinion.
So why do you say that and not Qui-Gon?
Because Ahsoka knew the council and she knew how it operated. She always was around it, being with Obi-Wan and Anakin. And when the council like policed her and called her guilty without really knowing it, she knew like it was corrupt, and she just walked away from it all, but she still helped people. She still
So-
helped the little person, but she just traveled from place to place, like a
Right.
samurai, like a ronin, just a samurai
Yeah.
without a master. And I think that is what a Jedi master should be, a samurai without a master. Because eventually, once you become just this being, this warrior being that just helps and knows what's right because the Force just guides them. I think that's what a
Yeah.
true Jedi should be like. And I think that's why the Jedi were doomed to fall.
I like
And I
that.
think because they rise so high, hubris. It
So
is
why did-
pride.
Okay, I didn't read the Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon book, but I wonder why Qui-Gon stuck around and why he didn't just dip. He must have been able to see the good that he could do. I bet they go into that with that book. I bet we get to see more book.
Like with what like Qui-Gon could do more good on the council. If he was on
you're
the
saying
council.
if Ahsoka's the perfect Jedi, she noticed what was wrong with the council and she dipped.
Yeah.
Qui-Gon also saw what was wrong and he decided to stick around.
Because
Count Dooku saw what was wrong and he dipped, but for other reasons.
I think Qui-Gon stuck around for Obi-Wan though, because he wanted Obi-Wan to see.
Yes.
I think because it was a love like between master and apprentice, with Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, that he wanted to see his apprentice, grow up and like surpass him, but in a good way.
Yeah, you read the book, right?
No, I didn't.
No?
Honestly, I haven't
We're gonna have to do
read
that.
much of Star Wars. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, me neither. I've only read a couple books. Okay, Padawanabe's got a couple good comments here.
Okay, let's see.
Normal citizens would see. Yeah. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
So like if the Jedi had sensed what was going on with Palpatine, even if Palpatine was still a student, fronting his political whatever, his run, if the Jedi showed up and just looked like terrorists and just took him out, and then they just dipped and went and hid,
Yeah.
for like 20 years, like I
You know
don't think
what?
people would.
This discussion of like Jedi and what they should be is honestly all that's coming to my mind right now is Star Wars Visions.
Yeah,
Like with
that's interesting.
the episode The Elder, like it's just the master and apprentice just flying through space, and then he just senses this dark presence on a planet, and he's welcomed there.
I love that you say that, because that episode's popped into my head a couple times while we've been talking too. That's crazy.
Oh man, like because I think that was my favorite Visions episode was The Elder. Like I just thought that one was so good, and it like this Jedi, the master, it was clear he had been like in war before, and it's clear that he knows war is not the answer, and never seeks out violence, but his apprentice still does, and the apprentice almost dies for it.
Mm. Yeah, and with Ronan, because I'm reading through that book right now, very slowly.
Nice.
I'm listening through the audiobook. I'm about 2/3 done it.
Nice.
Well, what his whole deal is he was a Sith. I mean, in that universe, the Sith and the Jedi are a little bit different. This, it doesn't have the same meaning. But the point is, for the sake of simplicity, he was a part of the Sith, and then he left because he wasn't down with how things were operating. And basically, what his main life purpose is to find other Sith and kill them, just hunt them down. So he's on this mission, and he kills them, and he takes their crystal, like we saw from the episode, right? And then he's got a collection of them, and that's kind of cool that he has this sense of purpose of doing what he thinks is right, what he feels is just, or what is his own code, and he just acts on it outside of any kind of body. You know what I mean? Which kind of I feel that's why I'm talking about it. I feel like it relates kind of to your perspective on the Jedi.
Yeah, I think that without being too bold, I think Qui-Gon probably felt the same way, honestly. And I think that was probably the same way that Ahsoka felt. Maybe not hunting down Sith in every way she can, but protecting people in this inner code, this inner call. And I think that is the Force, this call to, help people and want to, be there and protect the people who can't protect themselves.
I actually want to talk about this. Padawannabe, I should just have you on the show sometime, honestly.
Honestly,
you're providing some really good talking points, and I'm very grateful that you're here today. They had a ridiculously huge temple as a central focal point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that makes sense. They're high up in their castle and the biggest, tallest. I mean, Coruscant was very much in levels in your social status based on where you
and
live.
it just sort of seems like the opposite place you would want a Jedi temple.
You think a Jedi would be like where Luke is in Mandalorian?
I know, but even he was building this massive temple.
Plus, I guess a school. Yeah.
I mean, and you look at the first Jedi temple in The Last Jedi. It wasn't anything elegant. There were no large structures. The only large structure was the fucking tree. And then Yoda burned it.
Yeah.
He's like, this tree sucks. It shouldn't be here. Simple.
But I mean, it's a good point, I guess. So how should the Jedi have been then? I mean, because in Rebels we see like they find all these like the ruins of Jedi temple scattered across the galaxy. I mean, that feels that show was very spiritual in the Force and stuff. So I did kind of like that.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. Like, there's obviously nothing wrong with large, majestic structures. I mean, Buddhist and Jedi are very similar. Like the Buddhist faith, Buddhist belief system, and the Jedi belief system is very, very similar. And you see these temples of Buddha. They're magnificent. They're large, but they're all built by hand. They're all built with a spirit of servanthood. And so I think that's why these large Jedi temples, even in Rogue One, where was Saw Gerrera, that town?
Oh,
that place, like with the first
I
Jedi
I
temples.
forget the name. I just read it the other day. I can't
You know
remember.
where I'm
Yeah.
talking about,
Yeah.
though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember. Anyway, Jeddah.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah. Like you saw, like the massive ass statue of a Jedi. Hey, juicy. The massive ass fallen statue of a Jedi. Like, that thing was big, and like I don't have an issue with that because it was still on such a reclusive, solitary place, and then
Mm.
because of the Jedi, this town formed because the Jedi were there first.
Mm. Yeah.
And they just brought this feeling of peace and protection.
Yeah.
Because the weapon of a Jedi is a lightsaber, and that is part of like the Jedi. It's not like some Jedi have lightsabers, some Jedi don't. It's like, no, part of your road to becoming a Jedi is forming and creating your own
Yeah.
lightsaber.
It's interesting that we're talking about this, and I'm just thinking about like Obi-Wan and Anakin in episode 2, and they're like early on in the movie they're acting like PIs, like invest like
Yeah.
looking into where this dart came from, and
Yeah,
they're
who's
like
trying to kill Padme?
they're
Yeah.
like detectives, they're like private investigators. It's very, now that we're talking about this is very interesting, like looking at everything that we've seen the Jedi do and
Mhm.
thinking about, is this acting within the Jedi code, or is the Jedi code more like a guideline for them to just not
And
break?
I think that's why Star Wars Visions just understood Jedi, because all they had to work with was what they were told Jedi were, right?
Mm,
They didn't like work
that's interesting.
with anything canon, right? They didn't
Yeah.
do anything canon. They just had timelines, like with the Ninth Jedi. Oh, it takes place after Rise of Skywalker. Oh, that's fucking dope. That's awesome. And they just had their idea of Jedi, and they're like, oh, so it's kind of like a samurai, and so they just made the Jedi like a samurai, and,
Well, like
and it
how
felt
where
more
it came,
Jedi.
yeah. Well, that's where it came from.
Yes.
That's what I talked about Vision so much. They were
Yeah,
able to bring the Jedi back to their roots because that's what they were inspired by. Was like
the original
samurai.
inspiration. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I thought they just nailed it, but then yeah, when they're like private investigators, I was like, really? Is this something a Jedi would do?
Yeah.
This feels more like something a Royal Guard would do.
Hmm.
This feels like a little low for Jedi.
So another point then, and this just goes to the brilliance of George Lucas, because he had this idea for the Jedi. Everything about the Jedi was laid out in the OT. We learned everything we needed to know about Jedi from the OT, from like the 3 Jedi that we knew. And then we go back in time and we see the Jedi in this temple and they're war generals and shit. And it's just like,
it's cool.
George Lucas knew this wasn't what the Jedi should be, but that's how the Jedi were in all the prequels. It just,
that just brings a whole new like psychological level to Star Wars,
right? Like,
like that the Jedi that the only Jedi we've seen were not actually proper Jedi.
He made 3 movies full, the most Jedi we've ever seen, and they were barely operating within
the bounds of how a Jedi should be.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's yeah, it's pretty fucking crazy, man.
That is wild, man. I like that though. I like that though. There's no like actual like person who's right, but there are good and bad guys.
Yeah.
People who fight for what's good and people who only want power, people who are fighting for themselves. But there's people who fight for themselves, and then there's people who fight for themselves, but they also fight for the greater good, like Han Solo. Starts off fighting for himself, but just feels that maybe that inner call. Maybe it's the Force, maybe it's not, to come back. In A New Hope, he had taken his money. He was all long gone back to pay off Jabba, but he chose not to. He chose to stay and help out the rebellion.
Yeah, that's the whole thing with the Force that I wish had been less analyzed. I think there is a camp of people that really enjoy it just as a spiritual thing that can guide people.
I'm in that boat.
Yeah, like with like I would have been fine with what's his name, I can't even remember his Finn. I'm just thinking
Oh, yeah.
John Boyega, but that's not his name in the
Nice.
movie, is it? Yeah. Like him having these force powers, it would have been a lot less cheesy and a lot more like it's actually a lot more how Star Wars. It feels like how the
is.
force was in the OT. Like
No,
him being like, I just have a feeling that it's this way. It's like if the force is moving through you, that's great, buddy. You know, but I feel like now it's a point of controversy because
Did you feel with the sequels and just you kind of bringing up John Boyega being force sensitive, and I'm not saying he was or anything like that, but I've just felt like they tried to make the sequels like believable. You know what I mean? Like they only had very limited amount of like force sensitive people, and everything was like within human capability.
like what? No, you
there-
should explain a little more.
I just felt like watching and just this is just a thought that kind of popped into my head right now that there wasn't any like mysticism other than like with Kylo and with Rey,
It's true, yeah.
and like the very limited scenes with like Snoke and Palpatine as well. It just sort of felt like humans against humans fighting, and all that's cool and shit, but I'll just watch Lord of the Rings for that.
Yeah, like there is a tyrannical empire and people were trying to take it down.
Yeah,
and that's
and
the
like,
same story
just-
that's been done.
Just
in
get
every...
wild with it, you know? Fuck it. Make a stormtrooper force sensitive. You don't have to explain it. We don't need an explanation. We're gonna look for one, and we're gonna theorize on one. We're gonna create all these hypotheses and all that on how Finn became force sensitive. But if you don't explain it, okay, who cares? At least you did
Yeah.
something.
It just felt cheesy in the movie, but it could have been really good. Like I'm glad that they started to go.
But it's just they're afraid. They're so afraid, and fear is the path to the dark side, and that is what the sequels did. They just were bad because they just were so afraid to take a shot and stick with it. Because I look at the movie that J.J. Abrams did with Rise of Skywalker, and fuck, it was almost identical, just like changed a couple scenes for The Force Awakens. Like storyline wise, it was the same.
Yeah. Well, I think JJ was trying. I think that Finn's story got screwed the moment that JJ didn't direct the whole sequels because they were setting him up in that direction.
And I don't know what Rian Johnson was trying to accomplish with The Last Jedi. I think he was trying to work around this concept of failure, which is kind of cool because you're the middle story and you have to rise from the ashes. But goddamn, this is a different pile of ashes we're rising from. We had a flame here that was burning out, and then Rian Johnson took it over here, and then J.J. Abrams had to put the flame up over here, and there's just pile of ashes Rian Johnson left over here, and the flame JJ's trying to make over here.
Yeah.
Just not even the same. They didn't even feel like, I don't even feel like Last Jedi is within the same trilogy.
Well, okay.
It just feels like such a weird movie.
So, like, JJ was setting up Finn to be a Jedi, and then Rian Johnson wanted nothing to do with it. And then it seemed like in episode 9, he still tried to continue that story, but it came across as really cheesy and unfinished because that middle movie probably would have been the movie that explained, that set Finn up to be a Jedi in the final movie.
And instead we got the casino scene.
Yeah. And then in episode 9, when he's like, I feel like the satellite we need to find is exactly in this direction amidst thousands of Star Destroyers.
Ray, I have to tell you something. Ray, what do you have to tell her, bro? What do you got to tell her? I'm right here. You can tell her in front of me. No, I can't. I can't tell it in front of you, Poe.
A good story for another time.
Like, we're getting sequel talking now, and we're timeline wise, we're not there yet. We're in Kenobi.
Well, I mean, with Finn, the whole talk was about the Jedi and the mysticism and the Force, and I think that's how the sequels were going to be with George's. It was going to take
supposed to be an awakening of a new generation of Jedi, and we got Jedi singular, except for Broom Kid at the end of Last Jedi.
Oh, there were 2, and then 1 died at the end.
Yeah, Rise of Skywalker. What are you talking about? The last Skywalker fucking died.
Also,
the fall of Skywalker. He fell and died. Okay. Rise my ass.
Brutal, dude.
Ray Skywalker.
Okay, let's not do this.
My ass.
But were we going somewhere with this, with the
Uh,
Jedi and the
just
Council? I think we pretty much covered what we wanted to talk about in that
yeah,
realm.
the council made them like prideful, and they couldn't see the issues.
So do you think that we're going to see Obi-Wan reflect on the Jedi and be like, hey, we kind of fucked up?
No, no, I don't think Obi-Wan himself would ever see his Jedi brothers and sisters as anything other than martyrs.
So you don't think that because Yoda realized, like, oh shit, we dropped the ball here. You don't think Obi-Wan is going to be that way too?
No, I don't think so. Maybe Qui-Gon will show him, but I don't know, because Obi-Wan's kind of still like relatively young, right after Order 66. Like he's not that old. He's a Jedi Master, right? But I mean, like,
He's always been very stubborn and close-minded. He might
yeah.
just see it. I mean, the trailer opens with defeat, right?
And he might not even have time to reflect. All he has time to reflect on is the fact that they did like die, because like this man will die if he spends any more time thinking on it.
Hmm.
You know, he'll just the Inquisitors will catch up to him or something.
Yeah.
And it's too scary to reflect and really think if you were wrong or right. You just have to.
Yeah, I guess. Sorry, go ahead. Continue.
His mindset will be survival, and not just Luke's survival as well. He knows that Luke is the last hope.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
knows Leia, but Leia will, as we know, grow up to be, an ambassador,
right.
a princess.
Yeah,
Luke.
I guess Obi-Wan's got enough on his plate thinking about Order 66 and Anakin falling to reflect too much on the Jedi Order. I mean, but hey, we'll see, right?
Mm-hmm. Maybe we get to see a little Easter egg glimpse of Boba Fett. Maybe the slave ship. The slave one chasing the Millennium Falcon.
I need a break from Boba Fett, I think.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
I just, with the whole book of Boba, I'm just ready to
move
on.
on.
I need to see some Jedi shit again.
Need a little yeah. Well, that feels more Star Wars.
I miss the Force. I just miss, like Star Wars Rebels.
You know what would be
such
crazy?
A good job bringing it back.
I just thought of what if they just like randomly just actually made Obi-Wan and Satine like a thing, and that Satine's nephew was actually Obi-Wan's kid. What if they just fucking took that shot?
Satine, like from the Mandalorian?
Yeah. Because she has that nephew.
Who's her nephew? I'm totally drawing a blank here.
I don't know. I've only seen it in Star Wars memes because I actually don't remember the episode itself. But yeah, Satine has this nephew or some shit, but his like parenthood is unknown or something like that.
Are you shipping right now, bro?
Yeah, I'm shipping hard. I fucking love Obi-Wan. I want him to be happy.
Dude, I don't know, man, because we see him in Rebels and he's just still alone on Tatooine.
Oh, I know, like, and Satine
he's a tragedy.
dies well before then, but
yeah. Well, I guess we don't know. Wait, do we know what happened to Satine?
Yeah, Maul kills her with the Darksaber.
Oh shit. Oh, yeah. Satine. I was thinking of
yeah, you're thinking of fucking Bo-Katan.
No.
Sabine from Rebels.
Yeah. I cannot believe how similar their names are.
I know, right?
Okay,
Sabine,
that makes
Wren,
more sense
Satine,
that you're talking about those two. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oops.
Hide.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna delete my channel right now.
No, I don't know. Like, I want Kenobi to live on. I don't want him to die. Dying on the Death Star is not good enough for him.
No?
No, I don't know. It is. Getting killed by his student is very fitting, actually.
It's poetic.
It is poetic. It's Shakespearean.
Even though he took the L on purpose.
Well, he had to for the New Hope, the new draft prospect. He went number 1 overall.
That's the ultimate rage quit, hey? You just fucking out.
Yeah, that's the apex. You're not getting the finisher off on me.
Yeah, dude, literally. Dude,
about to die dips.
Yeah.
Then you just see him at the spawn party later.
Yeah, he didn't give a shit about inspiring Luke or anything. He's just like,
Oh man,
yeah, I'm done.
Yo, I just, I just thought of like spawn pool. We should like do another thing on Elden Ring as well, and just talk about like our death moments. Because like, oh my gosh, I just got fucked up by like 4 of those horseback riders at once. They all just hit me at once.
Good, dude.
Oh, I know.
Okay, let's wrap this up here. And hey, me and you can go hop on Elden Ring right now.
I'm down.
I'm ready to crack a beer and fucking kill some dragons and shit.
Yeah, I'm ready to crack something else and then do a little Elden Ring stuff.
Yeah. Well, good chat. I'm really happy that we decided to start this podcast. And yeah, for anyone, I'm not sure if I talked about this in the beginning. This isn't like a scheduled podcast. This is just whenever we have the time, whenever we're feeling passionate about something. Like, I don't want to become so regimented that we have to talk about every new thing.
That'll get tired. I'll get tired, and then it'll become a work thing, and I don't like work. So
yeah, couple of dudes with jobs talking in our free time.
Couple of guys being dudes.
Couple guys being dudes.
What's better than this?
All right. Well, let's wrap things up. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I guess we'll see you in the next one. I'm going to be busy IRL for a while, so I'm not sure when my next piece of content will be out, but I will 100% see you guys in the next one. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Juicy Strike
Padawan. Great comments in there. Oh my goodness, guys.
Spoiling
us.
Yeah. All right. See you later, guys. May the force be with you.